Hey, Shadow. He'll be all right. This guy's getting big. They almost chicken dinner size. Hi. I wonder, how many of y'all have ever been in a situation where you were just around something, had something in your life that you just didn't really care for at first? In reality, you were terrified in the beginning. But after working, staying around and being in the thick of it and just dealing with it and getting through some things, you find out in the end, it's actually the best thing that you feel like you've ever been able to have. My name is Mark Anthony DeBose Jr., and I was born July 4th of 1986. And this here is Makahi. I really like this dog. But there was a time in the day that I'm going to say that I was terrified of this dog. And I feel like it's now time for me to start introducing him to the rest of the dogs and the rest of my life, because we are now at a stage where we're no longer fighting. We're no longer battling. I'm no longer scared. He's no longer scared. So we're starting to move on. But you know what happened? It didn't start off that way. We started off very, very rocky. We started off very, very scary. I was terrified when I first was handling and working with this dog. That in reality, this is a dog that everyone was talking about. We got to put this down. In reality, he was kind of scary to be around at first, but he was just confused. And if I would have just gave up, if I would have just said, I can't do this, if I would have just said, it's too much for me to handle, we never would have got to the point of me being able to realize that I absolutely really enjoy this dog, and he's just an absolutely phenomenal animal. Just very, very confused at first. But I didn't come to realize that until I just would keep working at it, and keep going, and just decided not to quit. Sometimes we just give up too early. Sometimes we just throw the towel in way too soon without actually knowing exactly the full potential of who it is that we're with or what it is that we're working with. That we just decide, I don't like what I see right here, right now, so I'm just gonna quit. If I would have thought about that with this animal here, I would have been on to something different in reality in my life. Not even working with the animals and working with dogs anymore, because this dog really challenged me to the point of making me think that I don't know what's going on and I don't know if I know what the heck I'm doing. It led me to an interesting situation, just continuing to keep working forward. That I feel like that's something that I have to say today, guys. Keep working at it, especially if it's something that you know that you want to do. It's something that's inside of you where you just have this deep desire inside of you that's just like, I know I'm good at this. I know I'm going to make it happen, even though I know I'm not the best at it right now. I just have to say, just keep working at it. Keep going at it. Don't just give up. Don't just quit. Especially when it comes to, say, like working with other people, especially if you're already with that person. Keep working at it. Keep going at it. Don't just give up and just decide that I'm going to try something new. I'm going to move on over here, or I'm just going to bail on this, and then end up having nothing and end up being by yourself in the end, because you actually aren't able to find what it is that you think that you really want to be able to find out there. So I'm just going to say to keep on working at it, that sometimes what we have when we first start just isn't what we were looking for. But if we just keep working on it, we keep building each other, we keep figuring more out about each other, we keep figuring more about ourselves, we find out in the end that what we have is absolutely amazing. And I feel like that's where me and this dog specifically have gotten to, is to a point of being absolutely amazing. That we're at home, his rules are different. He could jump on me, he could do whatever he wants to do. But when we're out in public, he's very disciplined. He's very structured. He has a whole different way of acting, a whole different way of being. And that's for me that I kind of wanted to keep that, but I feel like, I don't know, today just maybe want to change that and just upgrade what it is that I do with him, to bring him closer and closer into my life and into my other dogs' lives, to start letting them explore and starting to have some more fun. And for me, that's man, your paws are dirty, homie. And for me, that's just something that is just an absolutely amazing thing about just continuing to keep working at it, continue to keep moving forward with some things. And also at the same time, he's kind of another test to just show of working with another animal, to continue to get him in a state that I know I'm able to do, that a lot of people just are confused with what it is that I do. And I'm telling you, it just doesn't take forever to do what you want to do to get your dog to act how they need to act. It's just a matter of sticking at it and being consistent with it and just continuing to keep going no matter what. Don't give up. Things are going to get better one day, and then things are going to get worse again, and then things are going to get even worse, and then things are going to get way worse, and then things are even going to probably get to the point of absolute worst destruction, that it's just like, I don't know if I can ever get back from this. And sometimes that's kind of a blessing, because now you know how far down you can go. Now you know how more complicated it can possibly get. But that doesn't mean that it's going to continue to stay at that, because everything is always a season. Everything is always changing. They're not just always going to stay down. They're not just always going to stay in the dumps. They're just not always going to be so negative and so ruthless. No, that's just a time that they're in. But if we just stay at it, we'll come to realize that in the long run, things are going to be great. That I don't know. I just know that something's different today than it ever used to be in society. That today we just like give up, especially when it comes to, if I talk about relationships with people and talk about marriages and things like that, and dating and things like that. We just give up. We see something that we just don't like the first or second or third time, or you could be with somebody for 5 years and you just see one little thing one day and you're just like, I can't do this no more. And we just quit. And that's something that is just different that I didn't see growing up. And a lot of parents, the kids that I hung out with, like, I didn't see any of that. I saw people work at it. I saw people make it happen. I saw people dig deep to just, no matter what, this is going to happen, because no matter what, there's just no, in reality, other options out there for you. But today, it seems like everyone seems that they just have a million options that they could just pick and choose and get and go and gain and just try to gain more. But for me, just working with this specific animal right here just led me to really understanding. Just work with what you have. Because I'm telling you, I could have gotten rid of him and moved on to the next, but we wouldn't have had the foundation that we have today. We wouldn't have had the foundation that he looks at me and he treats me as if I raised him from birth in reality today, because we've gone through such struggles. We've gone through such problems that we've built each other up to be able to get to the point that we're at today, that I'm no longer at all 0% scared of this dog. And even if he does try to like put teeth on me for some reason because he wants to just get his way, he's not going to hurt me or harm me. He's not in to hurt me at all anymore. And that wouldn't have happened if we didn't go through the troubles and the struggles that we had, knowing that now we're good. Now everything is great with us. Now we can really have a whole lot of fun. Now we can have some freedom. Now we can really do some things that we've never been able to do before. And then in reality, I don't know how, like, sometimes I look at each of my dogs, like each of my dogs is my dogs, that the next one isn't going to be the same. So if I would have already moved on to the next one, I would have had to redo all of that to find those flaws, because those flaws are always going to be there. You're never going to run away from something that's just, you're never going to have something that's just perfect and everything is grade A with it. There's going to be flaws in absolutely every interaction with everything that you encounter in this planet. And that's something I feel like we just need to have a good understanding with right up front and right away, and just deal with it and just know that we need to just work through it. That if there's something challenging us, that we just need to just make the decision and look at it and just say, I'm gonna figure this out, because there's no reason to just quit and bail, because there's something here. Because for one, it's like me even say taking this dog, being terrified of it, which is a real strange situation, because most people wouldn't adopt or rescue or pay for or bring a dog home that they were scared that would like literally physically harm them to death in reality. Not many people would do that, but just me being me, I had to go to the extreme. I had to do the extra, because it's just, I'm a dog trainer, and if I can't fix this dog or help this dog, not to say fix it, but even help him, then I just feel like I wasn't going to be able to do what it is that I wanted to do personally for other people out there. But for me, it's just a very interesting conversation, because between me and him, because now that I'm no longer terrified, now that we've moved past that, now that we're on a new mission, a new life, I've come to realize all the great things about him from all the bad things that have happened. Now I've been able to see all the things he's scared of. Everything that he was scared of, I got to figure out. He was scared of everything out here. He was scared of me. He was scared of even himself. He was scared of, because he would go crazy wild inside of the kennel, inside of his crate. He would bark and go savage at you. He was just terrified of everything. But now I've been able to work through all that to figure out what he's scared of. And then once we were working through what he's scared of, then we started to be able to find the things that he was like super excited about, super happy about, like playing with his ball and playing chase and playing fetch and doing sniff and search work and doing stuff like that. Like, this dude will find you anything. I mean, I'm at this point now, anything. Just let him smell it, and then he goes finds it. He finds anything, and it's just an absolutely incredible thing. And he really likes doing it. I wouldn't have learned all these things if I wouldn't have gone through all the problems that we have, because being able to get through some of the problems has been able to force me to look at what is good about them. Because if you're just looking at the bad and bad and the bad, you're going to end up with the bad in reality. But you got to see the good in the bad, because there's always good. It's never just all bad. And also at the same time, it's never all good. So with that, there's got to be that balance. And with that balance, we can go from the extreme negatives to the extreme positives. And then you can use an extreme positive to work past an extreme negative. And that's what I was doing. When he decided that he wanted to just run and jump and go crazy and be a fool and barking at everybody and snapping at everybody and going crazy, I would say, okay, let's go for a search. Let's go sniff for something out. Let's go find some quail. Let's go find some chicken. Let's go find a pigeon. Let's just go find your ball. Let's just go hide that and figure that out. That's an excessive extreme that he has, and I was able to defeat a whole lot of the problems that he was going on with them. But something that I just realized is continuing to keep working at it, continue to keep working through everything that's going on, and not just giving up, not just quitting, just saying, there's just a bad season going on right now. I shouldn't just bail on this. I shouldn't just quit on this. I got to keep on working through it. I got to keep on figuring it out, because like I said, there's a reason that you chose relationships, there's a reason why you chose that person to the beginning. With animals, there's a reason why I chose this dog in the beginning. Even though I was scared of him, I saw something absolutely amazing in him. When I would just see him in the kennel and he would just be barking at everybody. I don't know what it was, but he sure would. He'd be barking like crazy at everybody, kennel after kennel, people walking by, dogs walking by. But when I would stop and look at him, he would just stand there and just look at me. He's like, what's up, man? He would just give me this level of, you're kind of cool. And there was that in him. Even though he was not he was a bully. He was pushy when I first got him. Even though he was a little, yeah, you were, man. Even though he was a little bit like that, with me, he just had, I don't know, I saw something special inside of him when I would just stop at his kennel and take a look at him and just knowing that nobody wanted him. They were talking about how to get rid of him. And I was just like, I don't know what it is, but there's something in him. And I found that. I found out what it is about him, how awesome he is and how amazing he is by just going through all the problems, going through all the struggles, and just continuing to keep working on everything. And working on it to the point of just never quitting and always letting them know I'm always going to be there for you. And even though he quite sometimes didn't really like me, he knew I was here the best for him. He knew I was going to give him some food. He knew he was going to have a nice warm place to sleep, out of the rain place to go. He was going to have some good water to drink. He knew he was going to get some exercise every single day. He knew he had some basics behind him. And then once we just kept doing that over and over, we just grew our relationship to a point of just now I could do whatever the heck I want with this dog. I could touch him where I want. I could slap him. I could poke him. I could pinch him. He's got a really big head. That's what makes him, he's just a smart dude. But I could do whatever I want to him now. Where the day one when I got him, don't even think about touching this dog. He's going to let you know in a second. Don't even think about touching me. He won't even let you approach him. And that was a very nice thing to me that I really liked. That was really fascinating to me that, you know, when I look at this dog, I think a lot about myself. And I think that that's why a lot of dogs that we really just bring into our homes really is something that is just a pairing with who we are. That I was in reality the same type of way. I didn't want anybody to approach me. I don't want anybody to touch me. I don't want anybody to give me any praise. I don't want anybody to even acknowledge me. I don't want anybody to do anything for me. And that's exactly how this dude was. That I was just looking for the bare minimum, the basic minimum. Let me eat, let me sleep, let me have a place to stay, and that was it. I don't want to interact with anybody. I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't want to help nobody. I didn't want to do anything. So in reality, me and him were kind of the same exact way. And once we started working on him, I realized I was working on myself the whole time of seeing the magic behind just continually keep working to get something and having a goal in mind and getting at it. And with that, man, I just want to say thank you for today. Today is the first day of a new first that I've ever had in my life. That today I even had to take a nap because I was kind of like a little overwhelmed with how interesting today was. That one of the first times I worked dead in the rain as well. And the client was out there with me. I was just extremely impressed, like blown away in like I don't know. I don't even know how to put that to words like I'm saying. But today I've been able to do something that is just a first of my entire life. And it's something that just really brings a lot into me of being able to help so many people out and be able to be so many different places and be able to do so many different things and being able to see that the things that I work on and the things that I keep on practicing are actually good and they're true and they work. Like everything that I work on works. And it's just a very interesting thing for me that I just want to keep on pursuing this and keep on working more and more at it and keep on digging deep with being able to just help out more people in a way that you really need help. Sometimes when I come to you, you don't really need help with the dog, you need help with something else. And other times it's just a dog and it's all cool. I could do that as well. But it's something that I've just come to realize that the dogs that we have are something. Hey Kahi, we good? I know that's just May. You want to go over and play with her, we'll get that in a second. Sometimes I just know that the dog that we have around us is something that, hey, I know we're going to play, homie. All right, I got to control him real quick. Hold on. He's not used to sitting down with dogs I'm going to say as a dog trainer, the number one way to start training your dog. Don't stand, you want to start to figure out what you want, sit down and get them to do commands that you're looking for. It like fast tracks things exponentially. It really does, because as soon as I stand up, this boy will come straight to sit next to me and he won't even challenge, he won't do anything. But when you sit, it invites a different behavior. It invites a different presence to them that just, I'm telling you, when you can get a dog to just hang out on a leash while you're sitting, you can do whatever you want with them. I'm going to say it just like that. That's simple, because it is that amazing. Because when you're in their face, they're extra. They almost don't treat you like a human being because you're like down with them. And it's something that a lot of us do when we have our dogs. And that's why this dog is going to act differently with me, because it's the first time I've ever sat down with him, next to him, trying to tell him to do something. But when I stand, he acts like a completely different dog. And it's something that I just greatly appreciate, because the more and more that I keep on doing, the more I learn. I don't know it all. And the more I keep on learning more and more and getting better and better at what it is that I do, and the better and better I can keep upgrading my skills and make sure I can put those skills to market. And I just love to be able to have these animals to keep on testing my abilities and testing and challenging me with making sure that I'm always constantly learning and always constantly trying new things out. That this dog right here is a dog that's going to be able to teach me a whole lot. He's taught me a lot. He's taught me a lot in the reality of my main training course that I'm able to provide to anybody, the main help that I'm able to help with anybody, and the main ways to make sure that I don't ever come to your dog too aggressive, too rough, too hard, that I'm always gentle and I'm always soft, because I know what a dog can possibly do to you. I know the capabilities of what they're able to do. That this dog has shown me a lot, and he's really proven himself for what he's all about. And I just am excited to keep on pursuing, to keep on pushing his level of protection skills is what I really want to start pursuing more with this boy, because he is absolutely amazing with what it is he's able to do. And I'm just thankful. I'm super thankful for today, and I'm super thankful for everything that's going on, and I'm super thankful for living a world and a life of something I've talked about many times today, and that's living right here, right now, because that's how dogs are. I can give him this pressure right now and say what I want, and then I can praise him right after. And that's what he really understands. And that's something with me that I think that I'm really starting to understand myself in life. That I can get a little bit of pressure to get myself right, but I could go ahead and reward myself right away and have a really good, awesome, fun, happy life. And it's just something to me that's just, I don't know, people. Like this, it's fun to be able to consistently stay at something and not give up on it. It's fun to be able to stay motivated to continue to keep going forward, knowing that it's not going to be the best every day. You're going to have stuff that struggles, stuff that's bad. But today, days that say me and him have something bad, it's like it just doesn't happen that way anymore. Where we used to be on like that, but today it's just like the more that we were working through it and the more that we were getting past, man, things have gotten absolutely great. And that's the concept and the process of making sure that you just don't give up and keep on working at it. Don't just bail. Don't just walk away. Don't just say this ain't good enough for right now. Who the heck are you to say that it's not good enough right now? It should be for you, an intelligent human being, to say, I'm going to keep on working at it to figure out what it is that I need to do to get what it is that I need, to go into the direction that I need to go to. And figure out if it's a way of, like, for instance, with me with this dog, of me not knowing how to effectively communicate with him to get him to do what I want. It's for me to make the decision to learn more on how to be able to do that, to learn more and be patient, to learn how to focus and dial in what it is that I need with them to be able to get where it is that I want to go. It's not for me to just give up, because I could if I would have gave up, I would have gave up on this dog over a year ago, and just said, you know what, you got to go get put down in reality, that you can't be out here, you can't be around anybody. But since I just kept working at it, kept digging through it, kept figuring out new ways to be able to get my message through to him, to let him know I'm good to go, I'm safe, this is what I'm looking for, and this is how you're going to be able to upgrade your life. If I would have gave up, I don't know where I'd be today. But for one, I'd feel like a failure personally. And that's just something that I feel like with me, that I don't like to quit. I don't like to give up. I don't like to give up anything. And in reality, when I really look at my track record of who I am, that's something that I always do, is I keep working at it. I fix myself. I'll do what I have to do to make sure that I'm still in it. The only reason I'm not around certain people, because people decide to leave me in reality. That I don't really leave many people, if any people in my life, that I go ahead and keep on trying my best to keep on working at it. Unless it's a situation where you think that you know what I'm talking about. But I just keep on working at it. It's something that I just realized about myself that is super powerful and an amazing thing, that sometimes it's put me in a jam. But at the same time, as many times as I've been in a jam, it's as many times as I've been able to do some absolutely amazing, great things on this planet. And with that, I just want to say thank you. And this is my man Kahi, and he's going to be more a part of what it is that I do on a day-to-day basis, because I'm ready to start introducing him more to what it is that we've got going on outside of just being a outside trick demo dog that everybody gets to see, but no one ever really gets to get a good understanding of who he is. He's a good boy, man. Thank you. We'll shut that off in a second. Let's go run.